got my mind. Got my mind. seen the result, and my mind is recalling things you did for me now. Got my head in the clouds, nothing gon' bring me down, and hard for me to be tainted. Through it all I've been patient, standing tall in the rain, and don't you know love is dangerous? Hard for me to be tainted. Through it all I've been patient, standing tall in the rain, and don't you know love is dangerous? Gotta find my way home, 'cause I've been waiting too long. I thought you would move on, but I gotta say that you love with open arms. I didn't know. I gotta say that you love with open arms. I didn't know. I gotta say that you love with open arms. Gotta find my way home, 'cause I've been waiting too long. I thought you would move on, but I gotta say that you love with open arms.
I woke up right side of the bed, I got good views on my brain. Sun shining on my face, birds singing out my name. Got rhythm in this soul, I'm kick drum on the beat. This world's so colorful like a purple tangerine. Can't bring me down, can't bring me down, no, not today. Can't bring me down, everything's going my way. Yeah, it feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Up here on top of the world, you see everything. Daytime a color swirl, not like a diamond ring. I got feelings in these bones, they know a trick or two. So put down your little phone, I'm calling out to you. Can't bring me down, can't bring me down, no, not today. Can't bring me down, everything's going my way. Yeah, it feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, I'm happy. Feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day Don't let me go. A radio lover, insecure. A radio lover, don't let me go. A radio lover, insecure. My mind is a minefield. Watch your step, that's not a threat, no. My heart is a house of cards. They had those shaky hands, they let me fall apart. And I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking, all my demons start creeping in. When I start breaking, will you be waiting? Pick me up and put me back together.
no response, are you still up? Still thinking of us? Can we make up? It's so hard to forget all the bad things that went on between us. Those times were better. You know we were better. I know that we're a mess, but all I want is you. Hanging on your front porch, arguing about who loved who more. Let's take it back to you and I. I'm your scarlet letter, only one who knew you better. So let's take it back to you and I. Back to you and I. Remember the night we snuck into the pool just to make out? Then we got kicked out. It was such a ride. And I gotta admit that the most fun I had was with you. I wanna do it again with you. Hanging on your front porch, arguing about who loved who more. Let's take it back to you and I. I'm your scarlet letter, only one who knew you better. So let's take it back to you and I. Back to you and I. Hanging on your front porch, arguing about who loved who more. Let's take it back to you and I. I'm your scarlet letter, only one who knew you better. So let's take it back to you and I. Back to you and I. Back to you and I.
Shame on me, I'm a fool for the melody. I don't wanna stop right now. All I need is a drum with the heavy beat. Hit me with that future sound. It's time to let go. We're not going home. This feeling I can't live without. So shame on me, I'm a fool for the melody. This is our party, and this is where the beat goes down. Feel the music on the stereo. Oh, oh. As we let the rhythm take control. We're gonna dance like we don't care. Keep on popping by
rocking the music today. What's up, everybody? I've been having fun watching Jackie Baxter. Can we give it up for Jackie for dancing and enjoying herself? What's up? Hey, guys. What's going on here on a Wednesday? We're going to have some fun over the next 10 more weeks. Hey, so glad to have you guys here. Hopefully, as many as possible are watching us live. The rest, you'll catch the replay. Today is going to be fun as heck. Today, we are going to talk about who would like to, and listen, I just want to share with you, these Wednesdays, we have some extra weeks now. We were going to do 8 originally. I told you we're doing 12. We're going to go from now all the way to the World Summit. We're going to roll right into the World Summit purely on fire. Like, that's what we're going to be, right? Who's up for that? Who's ready to roll into the World Summit on fire, right? Guys, I want to tell you, first, I'll thank you for the comments, lighting up the Facebook group, the feedback. Listen, I know we had a couple hiccups, and I take full responsibility. We didn't understand what it would be like to service 956,000 people, right? That's not everybody who got enrolled in Project Next, but we wanted to serve everybody. We've had 42 people doing 20-hour shifts, and as of, I just want to tell you, as of tonight, at 7 o'clock, we should be finally caught up on emails. We answered 40,000 emails in the last 5-6 days. It's been insanity. So if there was any hiccups, if we didn't get back to you in time, I apologize. I take full responsibility. But here's what I want to say again. Don't allow one thing that maybe we weren't perfect on in this short period. I think we delivered massive value. You know our hearts, you know our capabilities. You see people going through the course. If you're already through the course, at least into module 2, put it in your chat right now what you think of what you've seen so far in the course. We have created something magical. And all I'll say to you is don't let one thing be the thing that gets you to exit. And a year from now, you'll be looking for the next thing. And it won't be this thing. Right? Thank you. Love all the great comments coming in. Because here's the thing, and I shared this on Monday, and I'll talk about the Monday and Wednesday for those of you who are joining us for the first time today. But in life, if you've ever been in a relationship when you were in high school or out of high school, if you had one foot out the door and you're just waiting for something to go wrong, you're just dying to leave. The way your spouse or the person you're with chews, or the way they walk, or if there's a seed in their tooth, you're like, I'm out, because you already had one foot out the door. I'm telling you, if you want to make this work, you can't have one foot out the door. If an email doesn't get back to you in 2 hours, or if your password didn't work and you're like, I'm out, this is stupid, then it's never going to work for you anyway. We got to look past that. We got to look to, how do we go all in? How do you take the island, as Tony says, you burn the boats. Both feet in. Here's the stuff I want to remind you of. There's never been a better time than right now. This truly is the self-education revolution. The wave is coming. You're perfectly capable. It's not the Tonys and the Deans anymore. It's all of us sharing our knowledge can impact others and create success, right? It is the perfect time. You are perfectly qualified. And what we've created and us going to be together for the next 11 weeks, you have all the tools you need to make this real. And combine that with mastermind.com and the World Summit. It's a pretty magical time. So what I would love to do is each week when we go live is remind you where you are, remind you where you want to go. Don't lose this energy. That's why I decided to do this. It's why I'm here with you. I want to help you carry this momentum. You were excited during the challenge. You got enrolled. It's a little scary, of course. Things getting set up, of course. Getting in a cadence of learning, of course. Overcoming feeling like an imposter, of course. Not being afraid to fail, of course. Feeling like I'm not so good with tech, of course. All of those things could be things where you say, you know what, I'm out. I'm done. It's not exactly what I thought. It's a little too confusing. I'm out. And then what? If not this now, then what? When? Right? If not Tony and I and our team and this course now, what? Right? So I'm going to say, if there was anything that didn't go 1,000% right, give a little grace, but don't give up on you. Because I promise you, we're past the hiccup of a couple things when you have almost 1 million people come into your system. All that's gone. Now it's time to get into the course, follow the process, go at your own pace. The other thing, too, is I want to say it again. This is a 4-section course, but Digital Product System is your own course. It is done. We've obsessed on it. It is yours to go at your own pace. And who we are as a culture for this group, we are a culture of progress. Meaning the only person you have to be better than is the person you were last month. If you can only do an hour a week, dedicate and obsess on that hour. If you could do an hour a day, dedicate and obsess on that hour, right? Because the only thing you need to do is just keep moving forward. And that's why I want to go live every week. So we're going live today. I want to tell you, let me ask you in the chat, because I've been reading them like crazy, obsessively, like literally obsessively. Last night at like 1 o'clock, my wife's like, the light on your phone, are you on Facebook again? Are you in the group? I'm like, yes, babe. She's like, the light, can you either dim the light or go in the living room? I need to sleep. I'm like, yes, hon, hold on. And you upper right, go down and dim it. Anyway, I've been reading obsessively, and I want to deliver today, which I was trying to say before, and I way digressed. But I'm going to deliver today what I believe you need. We have 11 weeks now. Next week, we'll get into module 2. Today, who would like to kill overwhelm and learn my most valuable secrets for productivity? Kill overwhelm and learn my secrets to productivity. Look at that. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Today, I pulled out a training just a couple days ago. I pulled out a training that I created a half a decade ago, about 5 years ago, and it was intense. It was deep. It was about productivity, and it is one of my most powerful trainings. And I'm going to go through it. And I'm not a big, you guys can probably see this. I'm not big on slides. Like, how many slides? You didn't see many slides that I used through the entire 6 days of training. This one, I created slides like 5 years ago, and I went through and updated them this week. So I'm going to go through the slides because I don't want to miss anything. It's truly one of the greatest trainings I've ever done. You will never look at productivity again. You will claim 3 to 5 hours a week this week and for every week, I promise you, when we're done. And I don't care if you're newbie, never thought this was going to be you, and now you're here. You've tried, or you've been dabbling, or you're kind of in it, or you're the rock star waiting to go to the next level. This is a training that I've taught people that have paid me $100,000 to spend a couple days with me in a room. This is a training I've taught people that I work with that have a company. My one friend I'm thinking of right now, I taught him this training. He's going to pass $1 billion in revenue this year. And I've taught it to people that are just starting new, saying, I want to be an entrepreneur. This is for everyone. So you guys up for a cool training like that? We're going to try to get it done in an hour. I'm going to do my absolute best. I know time is, time is such an asset we all have. Let me just share this. Again, with the course, you have digital product system to go at your own pace. I've been digressing a lot today. Sorry, it's been a long month. These 11 weeks, no, this is just the added bonus to keep you engaged, to not allow you to get in your head and think you can't, to not let the old beliefs come in, to help pull you through each module. This is a supplement to the course, not the course. Can we all agree on that? We've just had so many questions. I believe that I wasn't clear, and I'm sorry, in the training. The course is done. Go at your own pace. We've had people, we had a rock star go through the entire course, get done. Her mastermind's up on mastermind.com, and she's promoting this week. Like, it's crazy watching, but some people need to do an hour a week. It's okay. You just keep moving forward. There's a couple notes I had. So you got the course, the 8 weeks, now is 12. You have mastermind.com. This, now, if you guys if you have any questions on that, I'll give you an email address when we're done. But make sure you get signed up with your free trial at mastermind.com. You don't go to mastermind.com. It's Trial. Is that what it is? Can you get me the URL, Mike? I think it's Trial. I'll get that for you before we're done. Or team, could you put it in the chat? Make sure you get that, because as we go through the 11 weeks, we're going to be also working inside your back office to get your headline done, to get it done. You got 3 months for free. The way it works, you go in, you register, you put your credit card in, you're charged nothing. You got 3 months. We'll work together on the way, even before the World Summit. Have your site ready to go for the World Summit. If for some crazy reason you don't think it's the most amazing thing in the world, before the 3 months are over, you just email us or hit the button in the back office, and you're never charged a dime, not a penny. If you love it, like we know you will, and you got your course up, and hopefully you have sales by then, you leave it, you do nothing, it's $47 a month. That's exactly what it is. There's no catch. Did we mess up and send some of you a report that you were going to be charged in 14 days? Guilty, so sorry, our bad, screwed up, we missed something. Annoying, but what are you going to do? Some things happen. I promise no one's going to be charged in 14 days. You have my word. If you do, I will fire someone. I'll publicly do it. I'll bring them on here and fire them in front of you. I'll humiliate them. No, I've never done that, ever. I don't know. I don't even know how to fire people. I'm horrible at it. I've kept employees in the past for years because I was just like, I feel bad. Let's not. Anyway, and then lastly, again, the completely separate is we have the Mastermind World Summit in August. Put it in your calendar. It is going to be amazing. If you love the challenge, imagine 3 days of complete immersion. It's going to be killer. And I think I told you guys this last week. I'm going to send out a survey. Don't tell them. And you guys are going to vote on all the people I had on the challenge. There was like, what, 15 amazing people? I'm going to let you guys vote on who you want at the World Summit because we're only going to have like 5 of them out of the 15 or 4 out of the 15. Who would you vote for? Yeah, I see Glow. I know. I think she might get my vote. Brendan, Russell, let's see. Pedro. Man, come on. Well, we're going to have to, yeah. Trent got a couple. Trent did rock my world. I have to be honest. I took a lot of comments for Trent. So we're all going to vote on that. And won't that be amazing to have them not for 15 or 20 minutes, but for 90 minutes? They'll dig inside your soul. So that's what we have here. Let me also share. And if this is redundant, I'm sorry. We're going to get to the training here within a few minutes. But we're like family now. So we're just kind of hanging out on a Wednesday. You know what I mean? Mondays. Mondays is something that you'll get an email on Monday mornings. I go live in the Facebook group every Monday at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It was not something I promised you guys. It's not something I ever thought I was going to do. When we first launched our original course, KBB, 2.5 years ago, I went in on a Monday to welcome everybody, and it lit everybody up. So I went back the following Monday, and then I went back the following Monday, and I've been doing it for 2.5 years straight. I've only missed one in 2.5 years. They're usually just 10 minutes long, something. Who was there? Who watched the Mondays training? Right? It's just quick, down and dirty, give you a little hit of inspiration on a Monday. I always teach something, always. It's not just, hey, what's up? I always teach something. And then I always do shout outs of regular people that are having amazing results because it gives you that belief like, oh shit, you know, Lauren's doing it, Raquel's doing it, Trevor's doing it, right? I can do it. So every week, that's what I do. So if you get an email on Monday, don't think like, oh man, there's so much stuff coming in, I'm overwhelmed. No, it's just us hanging out for 10, 15 minutes on a Monday. If you want to join live, you can. If you're not, go in the Facebook group and watch it any day during the week. You can always find it in the announcements. Everybody get that? Secondly, we're going to be going live every Wednesday, 11 o'clock. This is the time. It's not going to change. I promise. From now until the World Summit, we'll be together every Wednesday here. So you might get an email on Tuesday or Wednesday as a reminder. Don't be overwhelmed. You don't have to reply. It's just, hey, we're going live tomorrow to give you that reminder and the link. Does that make sense? Okay, let me see if I'm missing anything else. Today, let's see. I explained the 4 buckets. Thanks for your patience. Go at your own pace. Oh, lastly, you guys got a boatload of bonuses because you took action during the challenge. True story. I'm going to remind you again, I said this last week, I got to say it again. Do not get distracted. They are Christmas presents. Do not open all your Christmas presents, right? If you didn't watch Monday's training about opening different garage doors, go to the Facebook group when we're done today, 100%, and watch the 10-minute training. It is in announcements in the Facebook group. It talked about the quickest way to overwhelm is to try to do 10 things at once. Do not keep your bonuses as Christmas presents that you open once in a while. No peeking. I like that, Shauna, right? Because what happens is you're like, you know, I love Shailene Johnson. Let me open hers. Oh, but Jenna's going to talk about this. But, oh, Rachel Miller and her Facebook strategy. That's got to be cool. And you start all these things. You get overwhelmed. You're like, I can't do this. And you back out. And then you call our customer service and say, this is too much for me. I want a refund. And then you give up on you. You give up on your life. And we can't help you. Right? So you got to do the things that allow you to stay on course. Kaizen, one step at a time. How do you run a 1,000-mile race? One little step at a time. Here's what I want to tell you. Tony and I have been doing this for 60 plus years between us. We obsessed on digital product system. Obsessed. Follow the course just from start to finish. It's in the right order. Has everything you need. Stay with that. There's bonuses that support that. There's next level bonuses. But stick with the course. Go to the bonuses when you need them. And then the bonuses from all the speakers, they're Christmas presents. You get a weekend where you thought the kids were going to be with you and they decided they're going to go to their friend's house. You got 2 hours. Go over to your Christmas presents and open one. Spend 2 hours or an hour with Russell or an hour with Jenna or an hour with Rachel as little bonuses. But don't open all your presents, right? How does it feel on Christmas when you got like 100 presents open or whatever, lots of presents all over the floor? It's like chaos, right? Don't do chaos. Complexity is the enemy of execution. If you try too much at once, if you don't focus on one thing at a time, You'll get a little overwhelmed. One thing will trigger, confidence will go down. You'll say, I can't do this. Your old beliefs will tap in, and you'll say, I'm out. I'm pulling the chute. And then you miss it. And we can't get to spend the next 12, 11 weeks together and do all these pieces, right? So, for mastermind.com, if you haven't got your trial, it's mmfreetrial.com, mmfreetrial.com. And you should have been emailed the pieces you need. So if you go to mmtrial.com, you just use the same email address, and it'll automatically trigger your 90 free days. So if you need any help with that, one last thing for you guys, our emails are down. We'll be caught up by midnight tonight. But if you got something that's urgent or something we missed, surely we can. For you guys, use projectnext@mastermind.com. Projectnext@mastermind.com. And you could say, yo, Dean told me to hit you up because we messed something up. All right. You guys good? You guys ready for hardcore productivity? Let me feel it. Are you guys ready for this? I'm not going to do like KK and make you dance. Emily, great energy. Appreciate it. Judith, thank you. Lorna, good. What's up, everyone? Jennifer, love the smile. How you doing, Sandra? Good to see you today. Okay, so no, I'm not joking you. I'm not good with slides. If you ever watch Russell Brunson, he can't present without slides. We did for the challenge. It's the first time I made him not use slides for the challenge. Anybody remember watching Russell? Wasn't he in his heart for the challenge? I loved watching him. But he's really good at slides. I'm not so good because I tend to read them too much. But this one's important, so just you can watch my weakness now right in front of you. Some people need slides. Some people can't use them. Can't really use them. But this is called hardcore productivity. Mike, you can pull that slide up. Now I want to share something with you. And this is not bragging, but I want to go through this. I want to show you in the last 15 days. In the last 15 days, from when I did this about 4 or 5 days ago, like I was telling you. But in the last 15 days, I want to share some things I did. I wrote copy and approved pages for everything related to the Own Your Future Challenge. It was pretty amazing. I mean, I shouldn't say. It was a mountain of stuff. Like if you notice the emails that came to you or the pages, I have some help writing, but a lot of them I do because I want them to be in my voice or in Tony's voice, right? Tony and I will talk for 2 hours and I'm like, man, that doesn't sound like me. I need to rewrite that email. Let's change this headline. So write the copy for everything that you got, you saw and what you have. So I'm gonna go through these quick. Finish the last pieces of the course and filmed with Tony. So digital product system, we literally finished it like a week before we went live. We had the whole course built, but the final video and training and putting people in, wait till you get to module 5, 6, all of those were done like in the last 2 weeks prior to me doing this. So we did that. I did 50 podcast interviews and live trainings with people all around the country, all around the world. I did 50. If you add the 2 weeks before that, I did more like 75. I don't know who heard me on a podcast or saw me on a podcast someplace, right? I literally did podcasts over 75 of them. I laid out every day for the Own Your Future Challenge. During the challenge at night, I would take all your feedback. I'd stay up to like midnight. I'd lay out what you guys need. I'd get up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I'd rehearse to make sure I really delivered in a big way. It's all in the past 15 days. I worked with all 15 speakers to make sure we were aligned on messaging. I talked to every single one of them, like, what are you going to teach? How about this? Here's a lot of questions coming in. How do we cover this? How do we do that? So we did that. I went live for challenges, 6 days plus VIP, right? You were there for that. I took my kids to 8 different practices, literally an hour each way. Yes, my kids have softball and baseball. Their practices are literally an hour from each other on the opposite side. And I did it last night. I drove my daughter, picked up my son, drove him, dropped him off, circled back around. Like, I love to do it. It's part of my gig because I get to talk to him. I practiced in the backyard, catching with my kids at least 6 times. I practiced with them at least 3 days a week. I made my kids breakfast, lunch, and took them to school 8 different days because I make them breakfast while we talk. I take them to school because we talk. It's just an important part of my life. I took my wife on 3 dates. I spent time with my 1-year-old son Luca, because he is my biggest fan in the history of the world, and he loves me. My wife does all the work. She is a badass. She takes care of everything, the diapers, the food, of course the breastfeeding. All of it's done by her, and I'm his favorite human. So moms, I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize to all moms across the entire world, because you get the shit end of the stick and we get the blessings. So thank you to my wife and that. I worked out 11 times, which I try to work out. Usually it's more, but during the challenge, got a little tired, so I missed a few. I met with Tony for at least 10 hours. Now, this sounds like I'm really bragging, and I'm not sharing this to brag, and yes, I'm reading my slides. But here's what I want to share. This is what I did, and way more, in the last 15 days. So why do smarter people than me get paralyzed or overwhelmed? And again, Mike, you can pull these slides down for a minute. Especially considering this is a truth, and these are slides that I wrote ages ago, but I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I don't have the highest IQ. So what makes me do that and not be overwhelmed? Do I get stressed still? I want to share with all of you. Yes, I still get worried. I still have a lot on my plate, but I've fine-tuned this process of being productive in a way that I've never seen anybody do. We're never taught time management. We're taught to-do lists. How is your to-do list doing, right? You can make your to-do list 7 miles long, and I see people's to-do lists. Have you ever looked at your own to-do list or someone else's to-do list and you're stressed over looking at the list? Not even doing it. I see you, Judith, right? Like, you're just stressed looking at it. It's because we're never really taught how to do productivity. We're just taught to write stuff down. Even if you are someone that's better than most and you write it down and make a to-do list, you're still ahead of most, but we don't know how to actually do it in a way where we're productive. You see, there's a big difference between being busy and productive. Can we agree on that, right? All of us are busy. Everyone you know is busy, but are they actually moving the needle on the things that can change their life? So this is my training that I want to go through. And I want to start, you can pull that slide up, Mike. I want you to think of binary thinking. You know, there's binary code, right? If you look at binary code, it's ones and O's, right? It's pretty black and white. You got ones and zeros, right? There's no gray. I'm sorry, see, I'm reading slides. I'm going to just pull all of them up. There's no gray area. I try to think in absolutes. So think about this in examples. You ready for this? I'm going to pull all these up because I don't like clicking. You're either moving towards your goals or you're failing. You're climbing or you're sliding, right? I love that. There's no in between. You're either moving forward. If you think you're hovering, if you think you're holding on to the life you have, you don't realize you are sliding. Can we all agree on that? Like when you play to safe, are you really playing safe or you're really going backwards? There's only 2 activities, things that have measurable results, income or success, and those that don't. Now, I want you to think in this mind, right? A binary thinking, 1 and zeros. There's no middle. There's no gray area. There's no 0.5. It's a 1 or a 0. It's a yes or a no. It's black or white. I'm going or I'm not. I'm stopping or I'm moving, right? So I'm going to be extreme as I share this. And of course, we come back down to reality. But I want you to think you're either making money or you're losing money. It's either an in or an out. It either energizes you or drains you. It's either a yes or no. It's either victory or death, burn the boats. Now, it sounds extreme, right? But when people ask me, how do I get stuff done? How do I do all those things I just shared with you? I'm not exaggerating about any of those. Like, literally, I don't miss taking my kids to practice. That hour drive to practice, I know about their friends, their crushes, their work, everything. It's changed my life and my connection. And my daughter's going to be 15, and I see her. She's drifting from me. We're connected, and I love her, but she's growing up. She wants to be with her friends. She's going into high school. Those hour drives are everything. So how do I do it? I must follow what I'm sharing with you today. How do I partner with Tony? How do I run Tony's company? I'm the president and CEO of Tony's company and the president and CEO of this company. And plus I own hundreds of houses and I write books and I'm a good, how the hell does that all happen? Is because what I'm sharing with you today, and I mean it, this isn't bragging in any way. This is just about pulling back the curtain on how I can still have an amazing relationship. I still work out 6 days a week. It doesn't seem possible, does it? I just learned what I'm going to share with you. So let's go through productivity habit number 1. You're either climbing or you're sliding. You have to be brutally honest with yourself in regards to these questions. So let's get to these big, ugly questions. And I'm just going to click them all here. Here they are. Is the person or relationship moving me forward or backwards? So think about it. Is there someone in your life that's either moving you forward or backwards? And I'm not saying go get a divorce tomorrow if it happens to be the person you sleep next to. I'm not saying that. But we have to recognize and we have to put up barriers. Am I simply busy or massively productive? Does this activity create success or revenue or not? Are daily activities moving me forward or not? If I keep up these habits, where will I be in 10 years? Does this activity energize me or drain me? Am I tolerating something that I should eliminate? So think about this. So if I really boil this down, and you guys are going to have the recording of this video. You could take slides, take out the ones that hit you. But you're all busy. But what we're going to do going through this process, and again, I get off a little bit sharing slides, so I might share a slide and then talk to you about it, is you're going to realize when we go through this process that you're all busy. But are you doing things that actually move you forward? Are you surrounding yourself with people who empower you, right? Do you have habits that build your energy and build your confidence? Or do you have habits that drain your energy and drain your confidence? We have to acknowledge those, right? Are you tolerating something in your life that you should have said no to a long time ago? Think about that. Is there something in your life you should have said no to a long time ago and you just keep putting it off, and unfortunately it keeps growing? Mike, they're saying my voice is off sync. Is my voice off sync to you guys? No, thumbs up? Okay, that's good. So overwhelmed, simplified. I'm going to click these as well. Let me go through this. Okay. Sorry. You see how great I am with slides. Overwhelmed, simplified. At most, we really do 4 things. Okay, so let's break it down to this industry. The reason I'm sharing this is because I know this is something I want to predict in the future. As you move forward through the course, if you're brand new, if you're in the middle, I promise you, as you move forward, if you get to a point that's a little uncomfortable, right? If you get to a point that's a little uncomfortable. Everybody's saying my sync is off, Mike, so I don't know if there's something. Voice is off. Yes, voice is off. Voice is off. Better? No. It's off. Yeah, so I don't know what. Anyway, pretend it's like an old movie where they're ad-libbing, right? Or they change the voices. I'm actually speaking in German, and it's just coming out in English. No.
It's dependent on the connection. So.
Yeah. I want to predict something in the future. I want to prepare you for this, right? In the art of war, right? If we're prepared for what's coming next, we can make sure that hurdle doesn't stop us. I promise you, as you move forward, you're going to get to a certain point. You might go, oh my God, I got the mindset. Boom! No more limiting beliefs. I know my dot. Got my dot. Oh my God, I got to mark it. Oh, I got to do a video. Ooh, right? Or maybe you go, that's fine, but then you go, oh, I got to teach it. Oh, I'm going to do it. My live is next Tuesday. Oh my God, I'm going to be teaching moms how to exercise from home next Tuesday. I can't do this. Right? Those things are going to happen. When you think of certain things that make you a tiny bit uncomfortable, you ready what you're going to do? Your subconscious is going to have you go back to the things that you are comfortable with. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to schedule the live to teach moms next Tuesday. Whew, you know what? Let me put that off. I'm going to go work on my logo. I think I should incorporate more oranges. Or maybe I should go red and bold. Maybe the name's not strong enough. You know what? I was going to teach 3 lessons to the moms on how to work out from home. But I think I'm going to teach 4. I'm going to lay out the 4th lesson. And all of a sudden, you're going to pick something. Judith, I see you smiling. You're going to pick something that warms your heart, and it's puppies and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies. And you're going to be like, I got so much done today. I laid out 2 more sections, and I changed my logo. Doesn't it look prettier? And guess what? You did what I'm talking about. You went back to the thing that made you comfortable, but didn't move you forward to be massively productive. And I promise you, Benny, I see you shaking your head. I promise you, man. I promise all of you, I still have that. Anybody, like, you look at stuff for your to-do list and your brain's like, ooh, that one kind of sucks. Let's do that one later. I'm going to do these, right? And you get these done, and at the end of the day, you're like, you know what? I had a pretty busy damn day. If I didn't get to that one tough thing, it's okay, and you justify and you give yourself all these passes. Here's what I know. Figure out the one that's the most uncomfortable and get that crap done first. Because when it boils down, if we simplify what we do, you can pull this slide up, Mike, is at most we really do 4 main things in this industry. We identify our dot. And once we identify our dot, what we're going to be teaching, then we're always kind of tweaking it. Listen, this isn't the same thing I taught a year ago in this industry. It's not the same thing I taught 2 years ago. In my personal growth teaching, it's not the same thing I taught 20 years ago. I identified my dot, but I'm always adjusting and tweaking. So one is you're identifying and tweaking your dot. Number two is you build your dot. You go on mastermind.com and you create the headline and you're going to go live. It's going to be a group coaching call, or it's going to be a mastermind where you all get together and share your biggest breakthroughs, or it's going to be a workshop. It's going to be me over the weekend. I'm going to show you how to do Pilates from home in a way that no one knows how to do Pilates, or meditate, or whatever it is that you're going to be teaching, right? So once you identify your dot, then you need to go build it, right? So we should be working on identifying, building it. And then once we identify and build it, we have to work on marketing and selling our dot, right? So you identified the dot, you build the dot, then you market and sell the dot. And the last thing we got to focus on is how we teach the dot, right? And I love using the word dot. It might seem silly to everybody in the outside world. That's our world, right? We could say our micro niche. I don't know. That just sounds weird to me. Maybe dot sounds weird to other people, but hey, this is who we are. This is our family here, right? But if you think we identify the dot, we build the dot, we sell the dot, we teach the dot, we impact lives, we create success. I'm not trying to oversimplify, but I don't want you to overcomplicate, right? Because you get through and it's like, if you're like, time to market and sell my dot. You know what? I think it's time I go through all of the bonuses that the speakers gave me. Like, this is what our brain does to us, and I just want to show you this in advance, right? Daniel, I see you smiling, right? Am I right on, Daniel? Seriously, am I like spot on? Okay. Next, overwhelm is a symptom of a bigger problem. Okay, we're going to go and click all of these. And overwhelm, lack of clear-cut objectives, clarity, right? It's why, who's been through Module 1? Raise your hand if you've been through Module 1. Raise your hand or let me know in the chat, how important was the clarity process of going through, understanding where you are, where you want to go on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me know what it was, right? It gave you the clarity. It gave you the why, right? When people tell me they don't have time, you know what? Thank you guys. 1 billion. That was good. You win. Oh no, that's 5 with way more zeros. Sorry, Mary Palmer, you win. When people say they don't have time, what I usually say is you don't have clarity. When you don't know what you really want and where you want to go with complete crystal clear clarity, when you only know what you want to avoid, that's when you get overwhelmed because you keep going down the wrong roads, avoiding potholes, rather than, Rochelle, you win for sure, infinity. That's why it's so important to understand the clarity of where you want to go, because when you find that and you combine where you want to go with why you want it in your heart, isn't that the magical combo to keep us on track? If you feel overwhelmed and you feel like quitting, listen, if this isn't for you and you don't want to serve others, you don't want to be in this industry, that's totally cool. But if you're going to let a little overwhelm, or you're not sure, or you're not like, then I'm telling you, you'll be searching for the next best thing in a year from now, and the next best thing a year after that, and the next best thing a year after that, and you're always going to wonder why it didn't land for you, right? This is our time, right? So get clarity on where you want to go. And I know I'm going a little long on this, but sell yourself every day on why you want it. If you're already in this space and you want to get to $1 million a month, sell yourself on it every single day on what that's going to mean to you. If you've never started before, you've been dabbling, thinking about doing your own thing for half a decade, know where you want to go and share that with yourself. Like, you need to sell yourself daily so you have clarity. You need to know, what is my compelling future? I need to look at it. You guys said before, Brendan Bouchard. Brendan did something pretty magical in one of his high-level clients, and I won't take so much time on all these because we got a lot of things to go through today. But one of his high-level clients wanted to get back to her ideal weight. And she said, I tried everything. She had tried everything and every diet and everything, but she was busy. She was a hustler. She was badass. And all he did is say, send me a picture of yourself when you were that ideal weight, the full picture of yourself. He went and got printed a life-size picture on the cardboard backing of her in her ideal weight and said, just put it in your kitchen. And like a month later, she was at her ideal weight. Because every morning when she walked in her kitchen, she had to look at the person she wanted to be. She had to sell herself every single day. It was unavoidable. So when you create your compelling future, how often should you look at it? As often as you need to. New Year's resolutions don't work because you set them once and then you look back at them a year later, right? When you went through the clarity tool, look at those results that you wrote down every day if you must, okay? Lack of clearly defined timeline, targets, deadlines. Don't say, hey, I'm going to get to module 2 next week. Get to module 2 Tuesday at 11 o'clock, between 11 and 12. Like, set the time and set the deadline. Lack of planning. I'll do it when time allows, right? Lack of focus, easily distracted. You know, I'm doing module 2. Oh my God, I can't believe that picture. I can't believe she had a new baby. Oh no, I can't do that. Let me go through module 2. Oh, wait a minute. Hun, did you see what Rachel said last week? Okay, I'll be out in a minute. Like, KC, this must be you. I see you laughing, right? We must, and we're going to go a little deeper on this. We must have focus. Like, if you only can dedicate an hour a day, an hour a week, it's got to be obsessively focused time. It's the only way you get in flow. It's the only way it lands. I know we all have ADD because of this thing and so many options, but we must be focused. Lack of a system for productivity. That's what we're creating today. We're going to create a process for productivity. Lack of learning from the right person or experience, right? What else could distract you? You get to module 3 on selling, and then you're like, oh, selling sounds a little weird. Let me Google, is it okay to sell, right? And we get distracted, and then somebody on there that's never sold before in their life, doesn't understand the sell-through service, is like, selling's bad, it's evil. You don't have to sell. If you build it, they will come. No, they won't. Never in a million years, right? But we do those things. Listen, my wife is, I brag about her all the time. I love her to death. And I'd say if she's here, she's a little bit of a hypochondriac. A little bit. Now, I give her grace because as a kid, she had asthma. It used to take her breath away, and she thought she was dying all the time because her asthma was so bad, right? So it just made her scared. My wife, if she has a pain like right here, she had a pain right here for like 3 weeks, and it just kept bugging her. She found every deadly disease that could possibly be online for the pain here. She came to me and said, it's pancreatitis, or it was something, and it was the wrong side. I'm like, babe, I just Googled it. Wrong side. She's like, oh, okay, let me. She came back later and she found the next thing, right? If we Google it, if we look for what could go wrong, I promise you will find it, right? And our doctor, we got this great doctor that we can call anytime we want, and he said, he used this analogy, it's like either a horse or a zebra. Like, there's always a horse around. There's always an easy explanation. It's not the zebra, the magical zebra that you never see, right? He had a way better explanation, but he always calms my wife down and says, no, it's probably just the pain. You probably worked out and it's a little kink in it. He was right. 3 days later, it was gone. But I want you to know is if you're allowing yourself to be influenced by the wrong people, that's cumulative. We talked about it. And cumulatively, it builds up, and then all of a sudden you go, yeah, maybe this won't work for me, right? So be careful. These are all lack of discipline. And discipline can sound like a tough word. I didn't like discipline. Who in here hates following rules? Anybody else like me that doesn't follow rules? Gary, I see you, man. I can't. I didn't follow rules in school. I sucked at it terribly. I still do. I'm really bad at it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. Like, I can't do it. But look through discipline as a different lens. If I can create disciplines that give me the freedom to make my own choices, then I'll put disciplines in place to be productive so I can get it done, make the money, impact lives, and then I get to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So productivity habit number 2. There is no victory without discipline. So let's make discipline not so scary anymore. Discipline. Your life is the sum total of your days. So think about that. Your life is the sum total of your days. Your days are the sum total of your daily activities and your actions. Your daily actions are the result of your daily habits. And then the question is, do you have $1 million habits or $100 habits? Like, think about it. So we all have habits. I wrote a book called Millionaire Success Habits. It's my best-selling book ever. It's at about 1 million copies. I love that book. I think it's going to go on to be a book that sells forever because it just sells. Thank you, Ronalyn. I hope you love it. It's my favorite book, right? When I wrote Millionaire Success Habits, I had so many friends go, oh, dude, that's going to be a bomb. It's probably a great book, but it's going to bomb because no one wants to create habits. And I was like, I think that's wrong. I think we all have habits. A lot of us just have shitty habits. Like, we all have a habit. You might have a habit of like eating a gallon of ice cream before bed and you still want to be at your ideal weight. It's a habit. It doesn't mean it's a good habit, right? So thank God, I think people saw that if we shift our habits, shift our disciplines, we shift our life, right? So if we look at this, the sum total of our days is the sum total of our daily actions, is the sum total of the results in daily habits. Do you have $1 million habits, or do you have $1,000 habits or $100 habits, right? So think about this. Who has a routine when you wake up in the morning? When you wake up in the morning, who has a routine? Here's the thing. We all have a routine. 100% of you have a morning routine. Some of you have a routine that sets your day up to be a champion. And some of you have a morning routine that sets your day up to play defense, nerves, stressed, worried. We just do. We all have it. So I'm going to use that as an example, a morning routine. If you wake up, let me just ask you, if you wake up and the first thing you do is roll over and look at your phone and start scrolling, it's kind of like Russian roulette, isn't it? Can we be honest? It's like you might get the text or the email, you're like, oh, that was awesome. Or you might get the one that's like, oh, damn, the sale didn't go through. Why did that happen? Who did that? It's a routine. It's a habit. I don't know if it's a good one. I know I mess my days up sometimes with all my businesses going on. If I roll over and look at my email and my text, there's always going to be one that just puts me in a little bit of a, oh, I got to deal with that today. So my morning routine and shifting my discipline is do not look at your phone. Like, look at it for what time it is, but don't answer them first. And I lay in bed and I literally think of something I'm grateful for, like low level, like not huge things. I'm grateful that I woke up. I'm grateful that I slept through the night. I'm grateful that my little boy is healthy. I'm just something small, not long. I'm not a big, long morning practice routine. I have a routine though. And then I think of one thing that was a win for me the day before, because we all beat ourselves up and think we don't get things done. And I think about, all right, what's something I accomplished yesterday? Oh my God, I was with several thousand of our students, man, and I saw the smile on Hildy's face, and Sharon, and Daniela, and Lori, and Rebecca. It's like, wow, this was amazing. And Caroline, I had a great day. Like, I'll think about something that puts a smile on my face. I can feel grateful because I got something done. And then I'll think, what's one thing I want to accomplish today? And I'll literally go through this little routine. And then for me, I get up out of bed. I go brush my teeth. I'm giving you my routine. I brush my teeth. I get ready to go work out. I go in my kitchen. I drink this green juice concoction I've been doing for nearly 20 years. It's green powder and some lemon and some MCT oil and this other thing. And I pound that. I drink that. I feel like I nourished my body. And then I go exercise. Either take a walk, take a run, or go do some weights or something like that. Now, you don't have to follow what I do. But that has become a discipline for me, because when I follow that regimen for me, I set my day up for offense. I'm like, I got this. I worked out. I fed my body, fed my soul. I feel grateful. Boom! Throw me anything today. It's mine. Can I tell you the days I still screw up? Fiona, don't laugh at me. I see you smiling. I want to tell you the days I screw up. I'd love to say, I am your mentor. I do every day perfect. Follow what I do and life will be wonderful, right? No. There are days I wake up and go, let me just check that one email. Oh, shit. Oh, damn it. Okay. And then I go in the kitchen and I just drink a glass of water. And then I go sit out in my gym. And then I'll be like, you know what, let me just, in my head, I'm like, let me just answer this one thing and get it done. And I'll sit on the bench. You know, there's weights behind me I'm supposed to be using. But I'll sit on the edge of the bench and I'll knock that out. And I'll go, all right, let me just finish this other one. Let me just finish, let me take this one call. Damn it, I'm surprised that didn't go through. And I start thinking all the crap that went wrong the day before. And then I look up and an hour and 10 minutes has gone by and I didn't work out. And I run out of the gym 100 miles an hour. Isabel, I see you smiling. I run out 100 miles an hour because I missed my kids that I'm supposed to, I missed waking them up. I'm like, shit, and now they're late. I'm like, kids, you gotta hurry. We're late for school. I'm so sorry I didn't wake you up. And I'm downstairs trying to make breakfast. And my whole day I'm playing defense. Marlene, I hope I said you're right. Marlene, I hope I said that right. You get it, right? Like, I still do that, and I know, but guess what? I do it very rarely. When I do my first discipline, throw anything at me. Tell me anything. I'll solve it. I'll find a way. I'll get leverage, and I'll lift the whole world if I need to. The day where I look at my phone, figure out what's wrong, I'm playing defense, and I'm just waiting. Do you ever have those days where you're just waiting for shit to go sideways so you can, try to deal with it? Like, the whole day, you're like, oh, what else isn't going to work? The marketing's probably not going to work, and people aren't going to show up, and he's probably going to be late, and this person's going to think I'm crazy. This is all discipline, guys. Tiny little disciplines. That's why I wrote a book on habits, because when we shift the littlest habits, it's got this compounding effect, right? Did you ever see where they take a little tiny domino and they knock it over and it goes bigger, 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 bigger. And this little tiny domino knocks over this big, massive piece of marble like 6 steps away, right? Those little tiny shifts of discipline can empower you to have $1 million habits, not $100 habits. So I'm going to encourage you to find the disciplines, find the habits that you have. Ready? I've been doing this for a half a decade. Find the habits and disciplines you have that don't serve the bigger, better future you're going to have right now, that you decided to have, and bump them out of the way. You don't have to add time in your life. You just got to bump a discipline, bump a habit out of the way that's not serving you, like a morning routine, and replace it with one that does. Here's another one, as crazy as this sounds. With my kids, I call it focus on the fix. With my kids, when shit goes, excuse my language, when things go wrong, when something breaks, when someone lets you down, it's really easy for our brain to think, whose fault is it? Why did it happen? How could this happen to me? All those things, right? Doesn't our monkey brain go to that like, whose fault it is? I have trained my brain through discipline, no matter how disappointing, no matter whose fault it is, I spend seconds there and all of my energy goes towards the solution, right? You spill a glass of milk, you could say, who spilled it? Why would you spill it? Why would you set that milk on the corner of the table? Oh my God, it's gonna stay in the carpet, it's gonna smell. Or you could just go get a towel and a new glass of milk and move on. Learn. Next time, don't put the milk on the corner, but don't focus on it. And we must do that in every area of our life. Okay, productivity habit number 3, you can pull this up. If you're not conscious of your daily habits and your daily actions, you're under someone else's or something else's control, right? Basically what I just shared with you. If we apply binary thinking to this statement, you're either free or enslaved. Think about that, right? You're either, well, we kind of named the challenge the Own Your Future challenge, right? And we all want to own our future, right? We want to be in control of our time, our efforts, and what we do. Cultivating discipline is not that hard once you stop listening to your own BS and just decide to do it. BS example, I'm not creating my course, training, or workshop because I'm not sure what to share, right? We come up with a story, and that could be one we anchor onto, right? Let's just look at it this way. Or we could tell ourselves a story of more regular people in history right now in history are selling what they know than ever before in history. I said history twice, excuse me. And the DOT method shows you how to find it. So when your brain goes, like, create the discipline, this is what I meant when I created this slide, right? So when your brain, you can take that slide down, Mike. When your brain starts to tell you a story that, oh my God, maybe it's not me, I don't know if I can teach this, then find a discipline to just tell the new story. Wow, regular people, let me go to mastermind.com, let me go to the directory and look at all these amazing people who are just sharing what they know, right? Wow, regular people are doing this. Regular people are making sales every day. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world. Yes, I'm uncomfortable, but I can do this. Let me dive back into module 2 and really go deep on my DOT, right? We can have a discipline to overpower the story that's already held you back in the past. Because I could say this about anything, right? We're talking about one industry right now. I see Assad, hi guys, how are you today? I could say this about anything, but we must, and no one ever thought of that as discipline, but I discipline my thoughts. I want to create new habits of my thoughts. If they're going to take me down the road of what I can't do, like Tony says, I'd rather focus on what I can do. So just make it a discipline, right? Okay, cultivating discipline. Figure out the stuff that's actually important. You can pull the slide up. What to sell it, teach it. Decide to just do that. Schedule your day, stick to the damn schedule. So here's what I want you to think about. I have these slides, and then I want to just take a moment and share, is we have a to-do list. Like I have one of my journals right here, right? We have things that we can do on a regular basis. But what you're going to have to do, as you could pull that slide down, Mike, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to really identify, and I hope this is all building to this, we really have to identify the things, and I would say audit your entire week. You have to identify the things that are moving you forward and identify the things that are just eating up your time. Think about that. We have to identify the things that are moving us forward and identify the things that just eat up time. As simple as I said, I repeated myself, you're like, I got it. Not really. Like, you have to be the auditor and go, oh my God, I've been doing that for a decade. It doesn't serve me. I don't feel good when I'm done hanging out with them. I got to stop doing that. Or God, I realize every time I go to the course, I love listening to the part about mindset because it puts me in such a great space and a mood, but I'm not really digging into module 4 on how to find my ideal client, right? So we have to identify, am I just staying busy or am I doing the things that actually will move the needle in my life? And the more you audit them, the more you'll realize how I was able to share all those things I did in 15 days. Guys, I won't be completely honest with you. I say no to pretty much everything in my life. I say no. And again, today is about productivity. If you're like, hey man, I just want to get into building masterminds. How do you build the life you want if you're so busy you can't start? I just want to share that with you. If you're already in this space and you want to go to the next level, I would bet to say the reason you can't get to the next level is because you don't have the time, or you feel like you need to clone yourself, or I wish I had 2 of me, or like that's all the things we all say. You know what you and I both have in common? You know what you and I, Tony Robbins, and you know what we all have in common? 24 hours in a day. Discipline is not one of those things you can take lightly. Discipline is one of the most important things. Once your mindset is right, if we don't create a plan for productivity, this will elude you. So that's why I want to anchor this in, because I think 95% of you are like, I get it. There's 5% of you that are guaranteed saying right now, yeah, this is good stuff, Dean. Tell me how to get my first sale. I am. That's my answer. I am telling you how to get your first sale, but not your first sale. My job is not to get you your first sale. Can I tell you something? If you guys do this and follow and get up on mastermind.com, you do what we say, you're going to get a sale. You're going to get multiple sales. Do you guys want 1 or 5 sales, or do you want to create a process and a selling system? Right? You want to create a machine that creates freedom, gives you control, creates revenue, impacts life. I'm not teaching you how to sell a course. I want to teach you how to be in the course selling business. That's what we're doing. We're not dabbling here. I mean, if you want to impact lives and give it all away, great, but impact a lot of lives. We just impacted 956,000 people for free. It felt pretty damn good. But how do we get there? It's one step at a time. And if you don't have the right discipline, if you don't have the right productivity skills, you're never going to get to the level you want. So again, for the 5%, they're like, man, I wish you would just get to the other thing. I'm sorry. We'll get to it next week. We're going to go deep on the dot. That's next week. You can count my word. Next week is deep on the dot. Okay, but today we're going to go productivity. So one thing here, mindset. Every day I want to read this slide while you're watching. So every day I create a day set up for success. I shared that with you. There are 3 types of days you can have: insecure, afraid, or attacking the day, right? Some days you're like, oh, some days you just kind of hang, don't really move up or down, and some days you attack the day. How do you do more things in your life to attack the day and less things that make you play scared? It's discipline. It's habits. Identify it. Look at it, right? You're either in a good enough mood or you're not falling behind. That's in a good enough mood to not fall behind is the second one. Or on fire, courageous, confident, and taking control. Just identify the things that help you feel more in control and confident, and do more of those, right? Because we are in control of our enthusiasm, thoughts, and energy. I do what I must do to stay on fire and confident. All right, let's get to some proactive planning. Okay, this is a fancy way of saying planning ahead, and spend more time thinking about the plan so you can spend less time doing the plan. Okay, I remember when I wrote this slide, I was working on so many things at once. And here's what I want to share with you. You could take down that slide, Mike. I want to talk about this and not let you get distracted. More time thinking about the plan. My best ideas don't come when I'm just sitting saying, okay, let me create my course. Right? What usually happens, this is why I say always have a journal next to you. Always have your phone if you're going to type in your notes, right? When you can find time to get in sort of like flow state. During the training, I had a question of someone who asked about flow state. And flow state's really just when you get in that moment where you're really, all the distractions go away And maybe it's a walk in the morning. Maybe it's while you're in the shower. Maybe it's that twilight when the kids go to bed and your husband falls asleep and you got this half-hour window. I'm a morning person. My best flow state is between 5 and 5:30 every morning. It's like I feel like it was downloaded to me. So what I want to give you a little secret for productivity. You can be thinking about it and rehearsing it. Like Michael Jordan used to sit in his bed and visualize throwing foul shots over and over and over. Like literally, he said he would visualize thousands of foul shots, and then when he got there, he could hit the foul shot. I want you to think about, okay, if I was training the course, if I go with if you're not to that section yet, we teach you the story, teach, tool model. Really story, teach, action. And it's going to change the way you look at teaching forever, right? But you could think, okay, I'm going to teach parents of divorce how to make sure their kids are not fragmented, that they feel centered, and it's a child-centered divorce so kids can be empowered. Man, what story would be the best story because of the experience I went through? What scene of my life can help set that up? If you just sit down and go, write that scene. But what I'd suggest is while you're on the walk, while you got that half hour at twilight, while you're exercising on the treadmill, just start thinking to yourself, what is that story that can say, oh my God, I remember when my son looked at me and I could feel we were pulling him apart. And I looked at him and said, and blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, that's the story. And then when you schedule that time, you get and type up that story, or in the moment, record the story on your voice memo. Do you guys all know how to go in your phone and find the voice memo that you can record? That's been my secret weapon. Every time I have a moment or a thought or like, oh, that's the story. Or like, oh my God, I need to teach how me and their mom bonded as friends after our divorce, and how my current wife, and oh my God, that's a great process on how we became friends. And I'll pull up my phone, I'll hit record, and I'll just sit and riff. Even if like, sometimes I'll stop at a street light and then pull over and be like, oh my God, here's the 3 things, or here's how I do this, or here's how I market, or and I'll just do it. And then later, when it's my scheduled time to work, I might send that audio off to Grow Rev. It's an app that transcribes everything I record. You should write that down. I'll record it. I'll send it off to Grow Rev. And when it comes back in an email, I'll just leave it there. And then when my hour scheduled time, I'll go get my downloads. And like all the work, so much of the work for proactive planning is set up for me to really maximize that time. Does that make sense? Okay. So proactive planning. Knowing what you need to do and do it in that order, and then making notes about it during the time. That's just kind of what I share. Knowing what to do allows you to understand clearly what you should not be doing. Okay, take these down for a minute, Mike. I don't want to get distracted too much with slides. Okay, so this one is knowing what to do allows you to understand. As you go through and you're setting up the things that you think can move you forward, even if they're a little uncomfortable. What I want you to do is also start identifying the things that you need to stop or do less of. Okay, I'm being redundant on purpose because, listen, I think we already know that we could get in better shape if we had less sugar, ate less simple carbs, did cardio 4 days a week. Do we all know that that would get us in better shape? Is that true or like beyond true, right? Just because we know it, are we all doing it? Are we all eating less sugar and doing cardio 5 times a week? No, right? Knowing and doing is 2 different things. I want to share this with you. Knowing and doing is 2 different things. Right? So when you feel your body say, well, I already know that I got to be working on things that move the needle and I got to stop doing the things that don't, just because you know that, it doesn't mean you're doing it. So we must understand clearly what to do and what not to do. So make a not to do list just as important as a to do list. Okay, so let's truly proactive planning. Let's bring this up. Okay. Binary thinking, it's either measurable, moves you forward, or it kills you. Again, this is back, I haven't done this presentation in a long time, and again, slides kind of throw me off sometimes. But really what it's boiling down to is identifying what is gray in your life. Because gray is hard to make that decision, and make it black or white. Make it yes or no, a 1 or a no. So binary thinking is it's either moving you forward or it's killing you. We try to do too much at once. Most of the stuff we do doesn't matter. That's your not to do list. We literally are damaging our brain's capacity to function by distracting ourselves all the time. Our perfectionism actually causes us to perform worse. So think of those last 2. I kind of covered the other ones. We literally are damaging our brain's capacity to function by distracting ourselves all the time. So kill the distractions, right? kill the distractions. Our perfectionism is actually causing us to perform worse. This is what I want to share. Some of you, without realizing, it's going to be a pretty tough statement to hear. Some of you, without realizing, are addicted to learning. And you're addicted to the way the learning makes you feel. I see some of you, Michelle and Darlene and a bunch of others shaking your head. Yeah, I see all of you. You could get addicted to, oh my God, that's amazing information. And I felt good when I learned it. Diana, shaking your head. But what we must get addicted to is not perfectionism and knowing it all. We must get addicted to taking uncomfortable action and put it into play. So I want you to remember this diagnosis when you go, oh my God, I love that course with Dean and Tony. It's amazing, but it's just not working for me. You know, I could see you like sitting at a Starbucks telling a friend, is it Sin, S-Y-N? Sin, it's like you're sitting at a Starbucks and going, I loved it. I had a great 6 days. I bought their course, but it's just not working. I felt good, but it's not. Don't blame Tony and I if you didn't try, right? Like, that's the part I want to put back on you guys. We're doing our part. I'm here with you. I'm here live. I've never done this before, ever. Not at this price, ever. This is a time in history, and I'm loving it. I just want you to know I love being here. And I know this is what you need today. Not even, if you don't think you need this, I promise you do. But we must get addicted to not being perfect, not to knowing everything, or addicted to the way it feels when you watch our videos. You must get addicted to wake up the next morning and go, damn, I felt crappy launching on Mastermind, but I did it anyway. I didn't think my headline and my video was perfect, but I did it anyway. I felt weird DMing my network of everybody I know to go look at what I got on mastermind.com, but I did it anyway, and I got 3 sales. Then you take that success and it proves that the uncomfortable action is actually what gets you the results once you know it. Because once you know this course, the only thing left is you. The only person that could fail on it is you. And if I'm going to be here to disturb you if you don't take the action, then let that be me. Let me be that annoying voice that's like, damn it, I got to keep going. Dean's going to be here Wednesday. But you got to go at your own pace. I'm not telling you got to keep up with some of the people in here. You got to keep up with you. But we must take that uncomfortable action and don't blame it on perfectionism. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. And we're calling them knowledge brokers, but this could be, anything. Pull this slide up. So, stuff knowledge brokers do. Stuff people in the self-education industry do. We answer emails. We surf online looking for what others are doing. We browse social media and see if anything interesting is going on. We create special to-do lists, specific to-do lists. We obsess on our name and our logo and our colors. We ask friends and family their opinions on what they think we should teach and what we should share. We worry about what could go wrong. We obsess on thinking we need to know every detail before launching. We think if they build it, they will just come. We read things that feed us with self-doubt. We put off things that are uncomfortable until another day. This is stuff that people do in business, but this is the stuff they really need to do. Identify your first or next dot. Create the layout of your program, your course, your mastermind, your workshop, your group coaching. Build the damn course and set a date for the live training at mastermind.com. Let the world know through effective marketing what you're doing, deliver your training, and then rinse and repeat. This last one is the stuff you think you need to do and the stuff we get distracted with. And this is what you really need to do. Finish the darn course. Take uncomfortable action. Don't wait to be ready. You will never be ready. Anybody ever feel when your child was like 3 months old that you were ready? Anybody? Were they ready? It's like you're 3 months in, you're like, I haven't slept. I don't know what to do. This is crazy. We should have waited. Like your brain, you're never ready to be a parent. It's the greatest thing in the history of the world. You're never going to be fully ready. You jump out of the plane and that's how you grow wings on the way down, right? Your next mission is to schedule your activity. I'm going to go through this one kind of quick. But look at everything you want and need to accomplish in the next 2 weeks. This is where we're getting to the action part, right? Look at everything you want to do and accomplish in the next 2 weeks. And then list in logical order what needs to be done and set hard deadlines. And then chunk big things down into small things. I'm going to ask you all as homework, so I don't have to do it again, go watch the video that I did in the Facebook group if you didn't on Monday about the garage door process, right? That'll help you chunking, but we need to take things and put them down into smaller bite-sized pieces, right? So if you schedule Tuesday at 2, I'm going to work on building my course in Mastermind. Break it down. Tuesday at 2, I'm going to work on the headlines and just the description of the course, and I think I'm going to go live in 1 month. That's it. Chunk it down. Don't schedule Tuesday at 2. I'm gonna name it, build it, lay it all out, but then I should start my marketing, but then I should figure out colors. I should look at that picture. No, maybe I should, you'll have 20 things, you'll get none of them done. Chunk it down, decide what piece you're gonna do within that chunk, schedule it, set a timeline, get it done. Okay? Of course, set dedicated hours to do nothing but work on these missions. So in those timelines, and I'm being really redundant on purpose, in those times that you set, don't work on anything else but that. Go back to the garage door theory that you'll see. Your next mission is to eliminate distractions. Productivity habit number 4, it's good to be selfish. Let me just share these, and I want to go through these. And I'm going to read this, because I remember when I wrote this. When I allow time for others who need me, I'm being my best self. Common belief. When I allow time for others who need me, I'm being my best self. So think about it. Who in here loves to help others and serve? Your family, your loved ones, your friends, your family. We all do. You're all givers. That's why we have that in common. That's this group. It's always been a group like this, right? But what about this? What if the truth, yes, sometimes, but not all the time, you being selfish with your time and the people you spend it with can allow you to tap into a greater version of yourself, therefore becoming the person who can make an even greater impact on those you love and the world. Think about that. Instead of giving all your time and being distracted and not getting done, what if you're selfish with your time in the short frame, that you have dedicated time to be the best version of you? When you're the best version of you, are you a better mom, better dad? When you're the best version of you, living inside your true potential, are you a better husband? Are you a better wife? Do you have more confidence? Do you have more glow? Do you have more, what did Glow say? You flex more, right? When you're in that space, when you're living into your full potential, are you a better version of you? Are you a better friend? Right? So we must sacrifice some time. Remember I said live the hard way is the easy way, leave the easy way is hard. We got to go a little bit harder and dedicate this time, right? Cycle of frustration. I want to create a legacy for those I love. I allow people I care about distract me during dedicated work hours because they're important. Because I deliberately choose to do this, I diminish my ability to create legacy for them. Seriously, read that. Feel that. You want to create a legacy for the people you love. But you let the people you love distract you so much and get in your head that you don't have time to actually build the legacy you want to leave them. You guys feel that? Sandra, did you feel that? Right? Selfish is good for others. Because the truth is, you're a better friend, partner, spouse, parent if you take care of yourself and your goals first. Okay. Eliminate distractions. Decide who and what gets your attention during dedicated work time. Stand firm in your commitment to keeping all others out. Stay focused right now. It's the only thing that you can control. Okay, I'm going to do this last slide, and then we're going to catch up here. Okay. 60 minutes a day messing around on social, I remember writing these. Look at this. 60 minutes a day messing around on social media is 7 hours a week. That's about how long it takes to create a new marketing campaign. How do you like that? Jennifer, I see you smiling, right? Is that just like a pow in your face? Mona, I see you. The phone, text, emails, alerts, social media alerts, calls, the only people who are accessible and the only people who are that accessible are desperate. I remember writing that. If you feel that you have to reply to every text, every email, every message as soon as it comes in, then it's time to train your friends and your family something different. You're working on you. It's time for you 3.0. And you're not going to be there by going, oh, I got to reply. Give me a minute. Oh, I got another one. I got to reply. Give me a minute. Oh, so my mom. Oh, my sister. No. They need to learn that Mona is working on Mona because she's going to her full potential and there's nothing going to stop her, right? Like literally figure these things out. The screen. Only turn on your computer to get online when you have to, when you're there to log in for the course. Don't log in and go, oh my God, I'm doing module 3 today. Let me just check my bank account really quick. Ooh, why did that fee come in? Oh man, let me call the bank. Why would you charge me that extra $3? Like, it is so easy to go down rabbit holes, right? Dedicate screen time. Email. When someone sends you an email, they're asking you to jump when they say jump. You're either control of your actions or they are. You get to choose. Think about that. When you get a text, an email, we talked about earlier, just train people that you're working on you. People make time for them later. Your work is your time. If you don't get it done, you'll be less present for them long term. So think about that. If you don't get it done and you're out to dinner with your girlfriend, right? Your husband, your wife, you're out to dinner with friends. If you know that you've been kind of distracted, not getting your stuff done, you know life is passing you by, the knowledge industry is passing you by, you're not making the income you want, you don't like the job you're in, think about how you are, how present you are at dinner. Are you sitting, staring with nothing else in mind, except maybe the great glass of wine and the food and the person you're sitting with? Or a lot of times are we sitting there going, God damn it, I'm not getting my shit done. I'm still in this damn job. I'm still not in control of my time. Yeah, what, hon? I'm sorry, what did you say? Yeah, no, I'm here. I got a lot on my head. We got to shift this. If we want to be the best version, listen, I want to tell you something, and I don't say this to be an ass. I could retire and never do another thing in my life. I could still donate to charity every single year, the money I want to donate, and my wife and I can live the rest of our lives. I don't have to work another day. But guess what? If I did that, I wouldn't show my kids that you can continue to grow as a human. You can grow your impact. You can evolve. You can grow. Like, I am my best version. What I did last week made me another level, better version of me. When I go home, I'm on another level of inspiring my kids and being a super dad and being 52 years old and being in the best shape of my life and having more energy than any 25-year-old I know. I want my kids to see that because I'm being the best version of me. But if I wasn't doing this, if I just retired and was like, oh, it's 3 o'clock, I guess I should go pick up the kids. Man, let me get one more round of golf in. Like, no, that's not me. Maybe that could be you someday, but that's not me. I want to maximize my time, work on me, but my kids know this. When dad's in his home office working or I'm down here, it is dedicated work time because I can do dedicated work time, but at 5 o'clock, hun, I'll be there. I'm going to drive you to practice, but I can't do anything until 5, babe. That's like literally that's how I talk at my house. Babe, 5 o'clock, we got an hour in the car, let's do that. Oh, you want to grab pizza after? Boom, let's do it. But from now until 5, I cannot be distracted at all. Love you, see you in a little bit. That's how it's just got to be. And that's how I get to be a better version of myself for my kids, right? So, let me see. So we're going to kind of sum it up here. But here's what I'd love for you to think about. I'd love for you to think about this productivity. Now, I went through slides, which I usually don't. I could have just riffed, but this was done in a sequential way. And I would love for you, because you all have the opportunity to have the replay, I would love for you guys to go through this and stop, look at the screen, read the stuff. Like, I promise you, if you've heard this a million times, you're not doing it to the full potential unless you have all the time you need to reach your next level. If you're not doing it at this level. And this isn't something I dreamed up. This is how, it's the reason I started with all the things I do. This is how I get more done than anybody I've ever met. There's no gray for me. The other thing I was saying to you is we can't lie to ourselves either, right? Don't lie, I must do that. I gotta do that. I've been doing this for years. I gotta spend time with them. You don't. You don't. The greatest gift I gave my wife, the greatest gift, my wife, anybody here say yes to everything because you feel bad? A cousin invites you over for a birthday party even though you haven't seen him in 9 months. You feel bad and you go anyway. Or the wedding you promised you were going to go to a year earlier and now you're not even friends with them, but you promised to go and you've got this guilt to go. And who in here does things because you feel bad and you do it anyway? Honest and truly. Raise your hand if you are, or put yes in the chat, right? Zero guilt. Love that one, Assad. Let me tell you what the biggest gift I gave my wife. I say no to everything except for the things that I know I need to say yes to. My kids and my wife get my yeses. My business gets a yes. My dear friends get a yes. My team gets a yes, because they're the things, that's what the definition of success is for me. Everything else is a no. Everything. 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 And I gave my wife that gift because she said, babe, we were together, married for 6 months or a year. And she's like, babe, I got to go to this happy hour. It's people I've worked with. I've been going for years. Will you please come with me? I don't want to go alone. I'm like, babe, I'm not going. And let me just ask you, you have 2 choices tonight. I'll cook you dinner, or we'll go have a nice romantic dinner if we're going to take the time, just me and you. You want to do that, or you want to go there? She's like, oh my God, I want to be with you. I'm like, then here's what you do. You just say no. She's like, yeah, but I mean, it was this thing. I had never seen anybody, like she was so nervous and fidgety. She's like, just say no. I'm like, just say no. Kenneth, maybe you understand it. And all of a sudden, it was like she went from this, oh my God, I said no. I said, did they send someone over to kill you? Did they post hate mail? Did they rent a billboard and said Lisa Graziosi sucks? No. I said no, police didn't come to the door. They didn't arrest you or anything. And all of a sudden, over like 6 months, I got her to say no only to the things I knew didn't serve her. I wasn't pushing her to say no to things that she loved. I wanted her to have more time for the things she loved. And over 6 months, I watched my wife be afraid to say no to she is the no queen now. Like nothing gets through our home. Nothing. She works, she loves being a mom. We love hanging out together, thank God. She loves working on her business. She's a badass. Her business is booming. She's learned to say no to everything. And I've been teaching my wife what I just taught you. My wife was already a badass. She didn't need me, massively successful. People all the time go, oh, your wife got lucky marrying you. I'm like, no, I got lucky and she had all the money she needs. To this day, I still can't buy my wife shit. She's like, why would I use your money when I got mine? Like, that's my wife, right? She didn't need me, but what I taught her is how to do everything she's doing in a third of the time. So she's doing exactly what she always did. She's being the same family. She loves her family. She's crushing her business, but she gets to spend 2/3 of her time with our son, Luca. And she hasn't changed a thing. She doesn't make any less. She just learned all the things I just taught you today in this productivity training. So guys, thank you for taking the time today to go through this training. Again, thank you for letting me stumble through some of it because I'm not the best with slides. You probably will not see another slide in the next 10 weeks. But I just remember when I painstaked and created this productivity training and I thought through everything I did and then I had to figure out the sequence of it. And here's another thing. You ready for this? This is the part that you really got to understand. And I want you to look right in my eyes as I say this. These are the strategies I'm teaching you. But if you learn these from someone who's mastered productivity at the level I did, do you think that if you create a course on anything, that there would be a great section on how to be more productive? Do you think that could be true? If you want to work out more, should you be more productive so you find the time to work out? If you want to eat better, it takes a little bit more time to eat better. Wouldn't it be great to have more time to eat better? If you want to be a better husband or a better wife, don't you think it'd be great to be more productive so you could spend more time with active listening with your spouse or your children? Is that true? So what I want you all to understand here today is not only are you learning something for you, you're learning something you can model and be the reporter and use it when you do your teaching. I give you full permission to take what we teach you and alter it and make it yours. Are you guys seeing that and feeling that? Like, I just want you to know. And here's the truth. I don't know if all those productivity habits are mine. Half could be Tony Robbins. Don't know. But listen to him for 25 years. They could be his. If it is, I'm sorry, I stole them. My buddy Frank Kern, I learned so much from that guy on productivity. It could be Brendan Burchard, it could be Chalene Johnson, it could be, I don't know. It's accumulation of my own self-education through Dale Carnegie and Earl Nightingale and people that are my friends and my buddy Randy Garn, who's the most productive human I've ever met in my entire life. I'm always picking his brain. Philip, I see you shaking your head. I've taken all that stuff and I've become the reporter. I implemented it in my life and it works unbelievable. And now I shared it with you. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to take it, listen, and go, yeah, let's just get to the dot? Or are you going to say, oh, damn, I like that 6th slide and that 12th slide and that other thing. I'm going to take that and put it in my course and make it yours. None of us invented these. None of us. Just people who are good with productivity do the things I just shared with you. The people that are overwhelmed and can't find time do the opposite of what I just shared with you, right? So now you have a blueprint that you could follow and you can use for yourself. Making sense to everyone? Are you guys glad? Give me a yes. Give me a yes in the chat if you're glad we did productivity today. And if you're mad, you could put hell no. I'll take a hell no, right? Thank you. Okay, guys, that's it for this week. So here's what I'm going to end with. Mondays. If you can get there Monday at 10, great. If not, go check it out. Especially check out the 10-minute training we did on Monday. That's homework for you. Continue on the course. Follow what I shared today on productivity. Schedule how you're going to get through the course. Don't have distractions. Don't lie to yourself. Find new disciplines, right? Be excited about the action, not the things that are puppies and rainbows to you. Be excited about the uncomfortable actions you need to take. Start slowly bringing these into your life and watch how things change. Start implementing these one piece at a time like Kaizen. Go through this training 10 times if you need to, and know that we'll be back here next Wednesday at 11 o'clock, and we'll be going through Module 2 and identifying your dot or fine-tuning it. So many of you have already identified it, so we'll fine-tune it. We'll come up with some great suggestions. I'll probably bring on some people next week. We'll do some shout-outs. I appreciate you guys so much. If you're not signed up at mastermind.com, go to mmfreetrial.com. Get that set up, because by week 4, we're going to be in there starting to do some cool stuff. I appreciate you guys so much. We'll see you next week.